Is it working? It is. It's the third time I have tried to do this. I am probably going to stop doing lives on this platform. Ridiculously hard for the 67-year-old. So this is your last treat. After that, I'm going to do pre-records and you pop it on, you go, and and here not so much. So much for that. And just going to stop with the rant and just let you know I don't put up with platforms that don't make it easy for us. It's life is too short. It has to be easy, which is what I teach with our health. And so welcome to have women over 50 that you're here. And I really believe that it has to be easy, simple, and anything you do in your life, even making videos like this. And if it's not, I'm like, yeah, peace out and we're good. So I did it all of February. And from now on, I'm going to do other projects that are much easier for me. And yeah, it's still giving you some awesome information. So if you are having sleep issues and you have questions, do put them down below. I will come back and make sure that I answer your questions and see what's going on. Sadly, it's not live because it's this platform doesn't really help us make it live. It's sad. Neither does Facebook, neither does Instagram, just so that you know. The only one that actually was very good was TikTok, but they're going to be banned. So, so let's go on. We are going to do other things, not a problem. Here's the thing. Sleep is absolutely imperative for your health as you're aging. If you don't sleep well on the regular, then you're going to age faster. End of story. It's just all the researchers who are women. I follow Dr. Stacy Sims, Dr. Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Anna Kabeka. Many of them are all saying the exact same thing. You have to have good sleep and you have to have a minimum of 7 hours. I thought it was less. I thought you could get away with like 6. No, I tried. I couldn't even do it. So it's 7 hours minimum of quality sleep. Quality sleep. So what happens if you can't fall asleep? What happens if you wake up at night and you go to the bathroom and you can't fall back to sleep? All those are issues that you have to address. Like put this on the top of your healthy aging list and make sure that you're taking care of yourself because it is absolutely vital for your aging process. So here's the thing. So we're going to go through 5 natural solutions. Number 1 is sleep hygiene. You might have heard this term, and I'm going to put it in my terminology as a naturopath and as a 67-year-old, and now sleeping really well to help you understand. So it's like when you go in a shower or bath or bathroom for that matter, you have what? You have your toothbrush, your lotions, your I don't know, your deodorant stuff, your cream, whatever you have your whole thing going on in your bathroom or shower, right? You're ready to go. Well, it's the same thing with sleep. And you have to have a sleep hygiene environment. That makes a huge difference. When you have the sleep hygiene environment, it's like night and day. It's not like you just, oh yeah, like when we were kids, young kids, teenagers, 20-year-olds even, you just go to bed and go to sleep. That doesn't work for most of us, right? So here's the thing. Number 1 is make a schedule so that you go to bed the same time every night. That really does make a difference. I don't like routines and habits. It's super boring for me. But this I have made a priority because I do want good sleep and I want to age well. So I highly recommend that you pick your time. So for me, I like to fall asleep by 9 o'clock. Well, by 8 o'clock, I'm in bed. Now that doesn't matter where when I'm traveling. My friends look at me and says, "What are you doing in bed at 8 o'clock?" I said, "Oh, I'm just reading. I'm just kind of relaxing. I'm just doing my thing." And they're like, "Even when you're traveling?" I said, "Yeah, even when I'm traveling." And it really helps the rhythm of your body when it says, "Oh, it's time to relax and get ready for sleep." It's like, okay. So I go to bed by 8 and I'm or close to it and I'm relaxed. I've done all my brushing my teeth, my skin brushing, my shower, I've done all of that. So I'm in my jammies, I'm in under the covers and I'm just relaxed. And so by usually close to 9, I fall asleep really quickly. And that makes a huge difference. Be consistent every single night that you can. right? Of course, if you go out with friends and you have a social life, that's fine. Number two is not having any blue light, right? So when you have your phone, it emits two things: the EMF, the electromagnetic frequency, plus it also has the blue light, which is very, very harmful to us and really cause lots of problems. You could put a special screen on it. You could also put it on your laptop. It really helps eye fatigue a lot during the day. But not having, like, I have this sleeve that I use to cover it up. You can see it's really old and worn, but I do it for to protect myself. So reading is good, relaxing, writing, that kind of stuff. It's really, really good. Now, realistically, most of us have either TV or we like to watch movies at night. That is my jam. I love watching movies at night. So what I try to do is I watch up until like 8 or so my movies, and then do have a screen for the blue light on there on my laptop, and then I'm done, right? And that way, then when I go to bed, there's just nothing else going on. So that's number two. Number three is having an eye mask. Super helpful, because no matter how much you try to really block the lights out in your room, or blinking lights or smoke detector lights, there's always something going on in the room. You can't just get it totally black most of the time. So having an eye mask just takes care of it. You could get two different kinds. You could get the kind that it is just right on your face and it keeps your eyes shut. That's kind of one I like. But you could also get the one that has a little curvature to it so that your eyes are not pressed in. You could also get ones that are cooler. You can get some with lavender. There's many different kinds of eye masks. It doesn't matter. Just wear something to cover. So we're still in the sleep hygiene mode, right? Number four is having the room cool. Now I'm in Florida, so I have my AC on, but now with the winter months, I could open up the windows and have the room a little bit cooler. Not much, it's like 70 degrees or something at night, and that to me is cool. But if you like it cooler than that, that's fine. But cooler room versus warmer room definitely makes a difference. And then the last thing for sleep hygiene, remember I was saying about getting yourself ready. I should have really put this first so you understood it. But when you're getting ready for bed, so for me, it's at 8 o'clock and I'm getting ready to go to sleep by 9. So 8 o'clock, by 8 o'clock, I've had my bath. So one of the best baths that I always recommend is having Epsom salts, where it's 2 cups Epsom salts and you soak a good 20 to 30 minutes and an hour before. Because if it's too close, like if you do it right before bed, then what happens is you end up too hot and your body is like still trying to adjust to the heat and all that kind of stuff. The cool thing about Epsom salts, though, is it's magnesium. Specifically, it's magnesium sulfate. So it really helps your muscles to relax. It really helps your body to relax. The hot water helps you relax. If you can't take it super hot, that's fine. But just get 2 cups worth and really soak in there. Do you need to do it every night? No. But when you're having trouble sleeping, I do recommend every night until your body gets the rhythm back in, right? I'm going to show you guys some more things how to do that. But that bath makes a big difference. I've noticed in working with clients all over the world. Now, what if you don't have a bath? You could put your feet in a bucket and get that so that most of your leg is covered up to your knees if you can with hot water. And then I keep like a teapot next to it. So I keep adding some hot water and really try to keep it warm, put a cover over. And again, you don't need 2 cups, obviously, but 1 cup of Epsom salt would be helpful. Okay. So that is your whole sleep hygiene. So that's natural solution number one for sleeping. That kind of gets your body into that rhythm of, okay, we're going to relax, we're going to get ready, we're going to have a good night's sleep. Okay, we're like getting the mood set for your body, right? Okay, so let's talk about the circadian rhythm. Big issue. All women have hormonal issues, all of us, whether we have it during our periods. I certainly had the worst painful cramps, plus ovulating. So twice a month, I was miserable, grumpy, mood swings, It was a mess. I was a mess. And I had to learn over the years what it took to take care of that. Then I went through a major trauma with my 16-year marriage, went through a divorce, and I went through early menopause, which really messed up my circadian rhythm. And I had all kinds of issues from mood swings, hot flashes, night sweats. I had everything. And I was like, this can't be right. This is too early. Now, of course, we're hearing 40-year-olds getting into perimenopause pretty often. But back then, and I'm talking like 20 years ago, nobody was really talking about it. And so I went to my friends who are medical doctors. They said, "Oh yeah, you're in perimenopause, and it's due to the trauma that I went through." So that opened my eyes, and I went and did a lot of deep diving, researching, and figuring out what that took to figure out to rebalance my whole circadian rhythm, because trauma just really messes us up in a lot of different ways. So in order to get that back, um, I actually reached out to my friend, my buddy Annika Carroll, Sleep Like a Boss. I highly recommend you go see her information. I've actually done many, many interviews with her over the years, and she's the one who emphasizes this most to me. And now, of course, I've seen it with a lot of other people. I wish I knew this 20 years ago when I was going through my early stages of perimenopause and then into menopause, is to reset your circadian rhythm by going out first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Why? Because when you get that sunlight, and no sunglasses during this time, right? So 20 minutes of going out in the sunlight in the morning, trying to get that in, or last thing at night with sunset and getting your rhythm back that way. Either way, right? And a lot of people who are in the cold weather, like, listen, it doesn't get light here till way late, and I'm working, and I don't have time to do that. Like, I get that, but see if you can do the sunset. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. I had a lot of trouble getting on today with the YouTube live, so I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome, Tracy. Awesome to have you as always. So the sunlight, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Now, because I was in Wisconsin 20 years, my heart is out there for you guys. And now I'm in Florida where it's sunny most of the time. I know how hard it is when you are in a location where it's cloudy a lot, the weather's dismal. When I travel, I go to the UK often, and love, love, love that whole area. And they have often bad weather, rainy weather, cloudy weather, right? And so there's something called a seasonal affective disorder where people get depressed and sad, and you just don't feel good when you don't see that sun on the regular. So back in the day, of course, we recommended having some special lighting for that, and it's called full spectrum lighting. Now, of course, we have the biohacking community who has figured out that red light therapy is actually really good for that. So you could get a panel and keep it on your desk, keep it in the kitchen, keep it just like be in front of that thing as much as you can during the day. I use mine regularly. I use mine for my thyroid and my face. I want to get as much red light in my system. And you're like, well, but you said you're in Florida. I'm like, well, yeah, but it's good for a lot of different things. It helps to rebalance your hormones, especially your thyroid, which really goes wonky as we get older. And we need every single help we can to make sure that the thyroid is staying on course. So the red light therapy is good for that. But the red light therapy, when you're in that kind of weather where it's cloudy, yucky, and just miserable, go get the little panel. I'll have my link below the company that I use. I really like them. They have a 90-day money back guarantee. Like, who does that? So that means I don't get my commission for 90 days. I'm like, guys, listen. But I'm really happy that they do that, because it gives you the chance in 90 days. My goodness, you really get to see if it's working or not when you use it regularly. Like anything, you got to do this regularly. When you're resetting your circadian rhythm, whether you're going out, um, for example, when I was struggling last year, I don't know what happened. Like something, who knows what happens? Our body is complex. And I was only sleeping like 5, 6 hours a night. And I was getting more and more tired. I needed more naps. And I called up my buddy Annika. She said, do the first thing in the morning or last thing at night. So I did it for a few months and then bam, bam, bam. But it took a few months of being consistent. Now I don't need to go out every single day because my circadian rhythm has reset. So, see, it wasn't just red light that helped. It wasn't just the morning light. It was the hygiene, making sure you're in that whole mode and putting it all together really makes a huge difference. You got to have to, and they're little habits. I mean, how much time do I do the red light therapy now? Maybe 20 to 30 minutes. That's all you need, right? But in the beginning, you need up to an hour a day. See, so in the beginning, as always, when you're having a problem, just get your mindset of like, okay, I'm having sleep issues. I need to fix this, and I'm going to do this morning thing or afternoon thing or late afternoon where I'm looking in the sun and spending time, in the sunlight on the regular, right? And you just that's good job, right? You just clock in, says, oh, let me see, sunrise at 7 a.m. I'm out there. Wait, sunset is at 8 at night. Okay, I'm out there. Whatever that tape, look at it as your job because it is. When you're healing, it does become a job. And it's not fun always in the beginning, like most jobs. But then when you start doing it, you're like, okay, I'm good. I got the hang of this. And it's just then becomes a habit. And that's what I really want for you guys. Okay. So the other part of this for resetting your circadian rhythm that very few people put together is castor oil. Tracy, who has been following me on TikTok, knows that castor oil went viral all last year. Oh my gosh, everybody was talking about castor oil. So I got on the bandwagon and showed people how to use castor oil for joint aches and pains, whatever. But there's so much misinformation about castor oil, and I've been using it for 30 years in my work with my clients. But here's a great way for women when you're having trouble sleeping is to take a castor oil pack and put it on your liver. Why your liver? Like, what does that have to do with sleep? Well, your liver is one of the major organs for hormone rebalancing. It's all connected. We are all connected inside our body, and everything is connected to everything else. And very few people know that when you do the liver and really focus on the liver in a lot of different ways, it helps to reset that circadian rhythm. So putting a castor oil pack, number one, is very soothing. Number two, it helps your liver to gently detox. And anything we could do to help the liver is awesome. So how I recommend is you get some good, pure, organic castor oil, and you take a little piece of cotton cloth and you soak it in the castor oil, and then you put it on your liver area. Like, you could do this during the day, when you're sitting there working, when you're watching a movie, putting your feet up. You don't have to do it only at night. And you put it on the right side where your liver is, and you leave it there for an hour. And then you put it, if you do the heating pad, I noticed that women really like it and it's very soothing. You could do a hot water bottle, you could do a heating pad, just very light. Doesn't have to be super hot. It's very, very soothing. You don't need to have it, but it just takes it up a notch. And that also helps. Okay. So that's the second part. So sleep hygiene, reset your circadian rhythm. Number three, I mentioned the red light therapy. So red light therapy is known to all the companies, because they have to be, of course, very careful what they say. So they always say, oh, it helps the mitochondria. And like, who the heck cares about the mitochondria? Like, if it's something that's going to help us feel better, yeah, tell me about it. But the mitochondria is it's a little powerhouse, and they talk about it all the time, like we're supposed to know. And I know you guys don't know. I mean, I obviously get into the science of it, and I love studying cells and mitochondria. But most women are like, listen, just let me know how it works to help me. Here's the deal: the red light therapy, when it goes in, and you're using the collar portion. In fact, let me pull that out here. I always keep it right here because I do use it every day. And it's very relaxing. And I usually do it in the afternoon after I've had my lunch and I just want to just relax a little bit. I have the mask, and then I do this part. So it's important to put it on your skin. And then here is, the thyroid part, right? Because your thyroid is right in this area, your parathyroid and your thyroid. So there are some masks that come with it, not all. Again, I'll have my link below. But the main thing I want you to know is when you do something to help to stimulate the thyroid and help it produce more thyroxine, then your body is like, oh, I could bring the stress levels down. Your hormonal symptoms start going lower because your adrenals and your thyroid. So your adrenals are on the back on the top of your kidneys, and your thyroid is over here. So when the thyroid and the adrenals are going wonky because of stress, you that's when the symptoms get the worst. And that's when sleep becomes an issue, like major issue. So it's super important to bring the adrenals down and the thyroid down. Now, the adrenals is this is not the discussion for that, unless you guys want to know. But your adrenals are going to go and rebalance themselves when you bring your stress levels down and you're feeling a little bit more at peace and calm and all that. But the thyroid has to have a lot more help, right? So your foods, the red light therapy is a quick biohacking thing that you could do, and then getting the sleep on the regular will reset it, right? I'm going to be interviewing. That's why I have my favorite interview top on Dr. Anna Kabeka, triple board certified OBGYN. I've been interviewing her for many, many years. And in fact, we're going to be speaking at the same conference coming up. And I'm going to ask her again to talk about the testing, because so many of you are confused about what kind of test do I really need to know, and what about adrenal markers and thyroid, like, all these different things. It's very, very confusing. So she breaks it down really, really well. And that's going to be on my new TV channel, because I'm tired of YouTube already. And it's just not working. It's like, I mean, it is, you guys get to see me here, and I'm happy for that. I'm glad. I've already had, I don't know, 9,000 views. Thank you. But it's just too complex to use, and there is just, yeah. So I'm going to do the TV channel, which I'm more control of, and I could spread it out more to you guys and get it out there. And she will be on that. She's one of my first guests coming up in March. I'm super excited to have her. We're going to really deep dive into some cool stuff. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is being out in nature. I talk about this all the time. Going out and get yourself grounded. Go barefoot outside in the dirt, in the sand, in the leaves. All that kind of stuff. Hug a tree. Get yourself grounded. Yeah, and a lot of you are like, listen, do you want to send me to send you pictures of the snow over here? Yeah, I get that. And so there's something else called grounding sheets that you could use, where you put it on. There's sheets that have like a system that goes through it, wiring system, and then it's grounded. And I have heard great, great results with it. I've heard a lot of people say, whoa, I cannot believe how much better I'm sleeping. These are people who are high anxiety, high stress. They usually are ADHD and all different kinds of hormonal issues, and really struggling with sleep. And they're saying that they're really feeling better. Not the cheapest in the world, as usual, right? It's easier to go out there and go get yourself grounded, go hold a tree for a while, but it works to be out in nature the most effectively, because of course, yeah, forest bathing, whatever, it's walking out in nature is really what it is, where you're getting all the energy and all the tranquility of nature. So I know I did it when I was in Wisconsin for 20 years. I would literally go outside and walk every single day, no matter how cold it was, just to get that fresh air and all that. Sometimes I could last 20 minutes, but most of the time I tried to push for 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, it was. I really listen. I totally understand if you can't do it. So I'm giving you some other options. Okay. All right. So that's number 4. Number 5 is the big one that I don't notice the experts talking about as much in this capacity, and that is to increase your protein. Everybody's saying increase your protein, but absorbing it is one thing, right? And then how you use the protein, which I've not talked about before. So this is a little bit new information for you guys. Here's the thing with protein. When you're sleeping is when you rebuild and repair yourself. So all the protein that you eat during the day is really utilized not in the day, it's utilized at night when you're sleeping. That's when it rebuilds and repairs your body. So if you haven't had enough, or you haven't absorbed enough, you're not going to have it to use to rebuild them and repair your body, which is when you wake up grumpy, You wake up achy, you're stiff, and you're like, I'm only 50. How come I'm feeling so stiff? Well, because your protein, you haven't absorbed enough, right? I've even noticed women, and myself included, when I look at my face, and I have wrinkles for sure. I don't wear makeup anymore because I really want to be transparent with you guys. Plus, I hate makeup anyway. There is nothing natural about those toxins going into your skin. So I stopped already a couple years ago. Not easy doing videos though. Let me tell you, I get a lot of comments about it. It's like whatever. But when I sleep better, I notice less wrinkles. Skin is better. The elasticity of my skin is better, right? And I'm not at the highest level of my protein levels. I'm not. I know I don't eat enough, but I know I absorb enough, right? And so, how do you know? So, two things. One is when you are eating protein, if it sits heavy, so put your finger on your belly button. I'm not going to show you mine because it's not that kind of show, but you're going to put your finger on your belly button. And if you have like a heavy or like sometimes acid reflux, like a sour taste, right? Or if it's just not comfortable, or you're feeling that food's still sitting there an hour, 2 hours after you eat, that's a stomach digestive issue, right? It could be your pancreas, it could be stomach, it could be a few things. If it's below your belly button, then that means that there's a colon issue going on, and that means you're full of yeah, you're full of crap. That's whole that'll be that'll be a discussion for a different day. It means your bowel movements are not really moving the way they should, right? So the heaviness should not be there. When you eat, you should be like, okay, I had some food, I feel good. And what I notice with that, here's the second part, is smaller portions really make a big difference. And I hate that because I love food. I'm a foodie. And I love to have a nice meal of my proteins, my fats, my carbs, and have a nice meal. And so sometimes I notice I'm not super full, but I'm satisfied. And that's super important to understand. You should be getting up off the table like, hey, you know what? This was a good meal. I'm satisfied. Can I eat more? Yes, but I'm not going to. It's okay. Because as we age, our body does the metabolism slows down and it takes longer to digest your food. So you'll find if you've eaten the proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and they've digested, an hour later, you'll be like, "Yeah, I still feel pretty good. I don't my stomach feels good. I have energy." I'm like, "Yeah, pay attention to your body." Okay, so it's not just absorption; it's also how does your stomach feel? How does your body feel? And I'm going to add a bonus to this. So what I did notice is, so women who sometimes if you can't fall asleep, it's because you've been go, 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 go. And I know those of you guys who are watching, there's a lot of people who come back later and just say, you know what, I've been in high stress and I've just been going. And yeah, here's the thing that I've learned clinically is sometimes you will eat a late dinner or early dinner, like 3 hours before bed, but you don't have enough to make it through the night, and you don't have enough to even fall asleep sometimes because of your stress levels. Yeah, I know that. And so what I learned is having a little bit of protein, just like a little bit. So it could be like maybe like a little handful of raw nuts, maybe a little slice of apple with a little almond butter on there, maybe a little rice cracker. With most of my clients would just say, "Oh, heck with all that." They would just take a spoonful of almond butter or sunflower butter, and they had that literally a few minutes before sleeping, and they slept like babies until their body adjusted, and then they didn't need it anymore, because technically you shouldn't need to eat right before you sleep, but it means that your body doesn't have enough to either fall asleep or stay asleep. It's a trick I've learned, and it works for women who really are having sleep issues. And you just remember, just a little bit, like a teaspoonful. That's all you need of either, or some women have a little bit of protein shake or a little yogurt, right? Anything like that can make a difference. and help you get through the night. If you're waking up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, that's hormonal. We're going to get you to listen to Dr. Annika Becca. She'll go into all that. But understand that having that little protein can get you through the night. Even if you get up to go to the bathroom, you'll come back and you'll be still okay and you can fall back to sleep. Okay. All right. Let me know if that helped. Let me know if you have more questions about it. Let me know anything you're going through actually with healthy aging. Love to hear from you. And thanks for being on here. Tracy, good to always see you, my friend, and hope you're staying on course as much as you can with all the stuff I'm teaching. It'd be good to hear back to see what's going on with you and everybody else who's been following. All right. We'll catch you guys next time.